sort of thing, and we would be discussing what all parameters. Do we have any the topic of discussion, as we know, is the challenges of cybersecurity in current day scenario. Do you think whether these challenges are real? In fact, do you consider those things? I think so. Mr. Girdhar has already given a lot of discussion about what challenges are in real, and that demonstration given by Mr. Girdhar and Mr. Kisle Chaudhary about that threat which has been posed by voice or text data or SMS. Then the spoofing can be done. That means that opens up an arena, a scope where unlimited sort of cybercrime could be committed, and every individual is vulnerable to all those sort of crimes. So, I would be just brushing up many of the topics, but this is brief outline what I will be talking about. It's a slide. How many of you consider that they don't, since they are from DM, PGDM or a techie, so they don't want to attend this very seminar? How many of you consider? Anyone who considers that he doesn't want to attend this seminar and he is just wasting his time? Anybody? Think again. These are all persons. If you know, if you can help me out, that these lights could be switched off so that we can easily see. You know, the first lady on the top of it. Anybody remembers the name? Anybody knows who that person is? Lindsay Lohan. Other person, the second person in the first row is O.J. Simpson. He is very popular. And why I have given the photograph of all those persons. Mr. Subrat Roy, Lal Prasad Yadav, Sunny Modi, John Abraham. All these persons are known personalities. I feel so that these are all known personalities. But why they are shown over here? Why I am showing them? These are celebrities. They are either convicted or arrested. So no matter what they offer, their status be. Mr. Subrat Roy is the CEO of Sahara Group, but he is behind the bars since March 2014, February 2014. So no matter whatever the status be, Sanjay Dutt is behind the bar. And similarly, the first lady, Lindsay Lohan, she just sold $2,500 jewelry from a shop, and she was arrested. The last person in that row, first row, you know who that person is? Have you ever seen the Harry Potter? He was one of the characters. James Smollett is his name. And he was arrested and imprisoned for 2 years of imprisonment for causing arson, carrying marijuana, and all those things. So all these personalities, they are. So before doing anything, the background what Mr. Girdhar has stated, that the scenario is very open and it is wide open for us whether to behave in a reasonable manner or anything which is unreasonable. So basically this is my brief introduction. I'll just give on to this one. What exactly is cyber? Why we are calling it as cyber? This has been first used by many Norbert Weisner. He has first used this term This is called art of governance. He has referred to in the book called Cybernetics, where he has referred to the art of governance. So that is why whenever we are talking anything which is a discussion about the future technology, whenever we are referring to it as a future technology, then we are referring to this as cyber. And what is law? If anybody can tell me what exactly they consider law? And anybody who has jumped in a red light daily, chalo occasionally, even for a month, there is a penalty and punishment prescribed. That is also one of the punishments where you pay a fine of rupees XYZ. And be careful, 2 days back it has been notified, new law has been amended and the penalty is very high now. So before breaching any law, you should be careful. So law is nothing. These are uniform set of rules that govern the behavior of social human beings. That is why we have law. Otherwise, there will be chaos. And what are the objectives of law? These are all objectives of law. Protecting a person's life, liberty, lawlessness, etc. And punish the guilty. That is one of the basic objectives of law. And there are two different ways what the law behaves with individuals. Either there are civil liability, that means you can have say and your rights have been violated, then compensation would be provided. Whereas on the other hand, if a person commits any offense, then he is liable to get punishment for X, Y, Z as described in the law. These are all ingredients of law. There is a violation of individual, it is a causing loss or damage, and there is a compensation. Then ingredients of crime. It is prescribed what all violations of law are there. Then there is a prescribed punishment for those very laws. Cybercrime, as I have described, it is about the technology, information technology, or the use and law which is relevant to that one. So, all being a management student, I think that tomorrow, when you leave this organization or this institute and you will be going in for your job, what do you consider your threats as responsibilities towards the organization or towards yourself? What do you consider? Whether you consider that law, you are liable to be all those challenges. These are the challenges. If you these have been discussed by Mr. Anup Gizar. First is the social engineering. Social engineering has been discussed in detail by Mr. Gizar. That when I want to get the data, how do I get the data of individual person? These are the challenges for the corporate organization. That to get the data, I use either Viber or Facebook or WhatsApp. All those applications are there. Apart from that one, I get Facebook, I get Messenger, and while doing interaction and chatting, I get the data from that very person, either personal data, private data, and what all pictures that we share. And as has been rightly described by Mr. Gizar, that there are disclaimers which when we ourselves allow, we ourselves say that you can use my data, you can get my photographs, you can get to know my all details, all relevant details will be taken, and you cannot sue against those very corporates until unless you are careful enough. And even by being careful also, you cannot sue them. You cannot, your rights are getting violated, your photographs are getting taken up by them, and they may be used in any manner, either by morphing or in any manner they may be used. But then, if you are not able to get redressal of your threat, then that is likely to create problems. Similar, what is an internal threat? If any, say suppose any person who is in a close knit family also, if one of the persons discloses the secret of the family to an outsider, then the family cannot, if a family business is being run on particular secret, and any family person that also discloses those very secrets, then that secret will ruin that very family run business. Similar is the case with a big corporation. The trade secrets are one of basic things. Similar things are with trademark, copyright, or software that each and every individual develops. And if the algorithm which has been written in that very program, and any person who discloses that very thing to any other person, then that is likely to cause damage to that very organization. The basic growth of that very software depends upon that very symbolic algorithm, and that way. Another threat to an organization is when the persons are allowed to bring their own devices, mobile, mobile, laptop, pen drive, etc. And when that is being used in the system of organization or college, then there are multi-pronged threats onto that one. Your system gets compromised if any virus that is there residing on that very mobile or pen drive or etc. that can enter into the system of the computer, institute, etc. or the data, whatever is there in that very computer, if there is an internal access provided to every individual user, then that data can be compromised and taken out by humans outside. Then much has been said about the cloud. Now, everything, Google, etc., they are allowing you unlimited space. How that is being managed? They are managed because we are keeping our data on any cloud. The data is kept on a servers which are not based in your thing. The Google is not maintaining that data. They are being maintained by some other cloud server, multiple servers placed in different places, and your data is not so secret. First thing is that your access to data itself is compromised, then your data also gets compromised. So all your data, all your credit card data or personal data or any other data, if that is available on cloud, then that gets compromised very easily. If no proper security procedures are taken account, then there are software glitches. As has been told by Mr. Jizar that the software glitch, the way to SMS, this is one of the major software glitch that any person can use either SMS or voice over internet protocol calls and commit any crime. If a person receives a call, a ransom call, etc., from any person, then the prima facie doubt will go onto the number which is primary. But then the person is bound to have legal hassle. Then we have data breach, and all these are targeted towards data breach. Your data is very precious. These are some terms which are prevalent in IT or cyber security. What has been discussed is either phishing or spoofing. Everyone knows that what phishing is. Can I have attention of everybody? I think so, because you are all well tired, so you don't want to have attention of all those things. I suppose. This is my personal. What is phishing? Can anybody know, enlighten me about what phishing is? apart from that one, what other objectives are of phishing?
If I swipe a credit card, those details are there in that personal data, eventually to replicate the same result they stored there.
Basically, this is a mode used for getting the data, personal data or a credit card data from either they use it, the credit card whenever you swipe to ATM machine, and there is a machine over the ATM that is called skimming machine is placed over the ATM where all your data that gets read onto the server and that gets compromised, and that is used for getting doing all multiple transactions. That is one way of doing this. Another two modes have been disclosed here. That is voice over protocol and message spoofing. All those things are there. They are deployed either individually or in tandem. They can be deployed either individually or in tandem to get all other details. This is a snapshot of what all cyber crimes are. Either you have snooping, voyeurism, privacy violation, stalking, bullying, pornography, DOS. DOS is an attack which is particularly, there was a site called Amazon.com, and that is still there, but an attack has taken place on that one where the services was disrupted using denial of service attack. And what investigator has told that there is a automated, when there are multiple calls are coming to one IP address in a very short span of time, then that is a distributed denial of service attack from a limited number of IP addresses. So that discourages or this bans the regular functioning of a server, service provider or the server of like Amazon.com or e-commerce websites.com. Similar is the case with spoofing, skimming that you all know. Then there are another thing that is called hacking and cracking. There are two terms which are synonymously used. One is hacking, another is cracking. Normally, cracking is referred to those persons who are using those keys only to get the data for doing criminal activities. Whereas the hackers, there is a very thin line of that is dividing between hacker and cracker. That is the ethical nature. And when that light diminishes, then the person, the data, everything gets compromised. Then that resultantly goes on to identity fraud or other things. There are modes of cybercrime. How the cybercrime gets committed? Either the threat is their target is the PDA or the computer itself or the mobile itself is a threat, or I use that mobile as a transient way, or the resources when I attack the server, that is a transient way of attacking. Another third way is using those very things to commit a crime, like what has been shown. When an extortion call is made using a spoofed voice call, then the entire that opens up an arena for doing any number of crimes. This is a cyber law. When we refer to cyber law, there is a special authority where civil litigations are taken up, and the litigations are before adjudicating officer, and he may impose the fine or penalty. Applicability, where cyber law is applicable. Every individual who is using mobile, credit card, ATM card, bank account, or any sort of device, or even a person who is copying the data over a SIM card or pen drive or all those things, they are attracting the cyber law. These are some few legislations. They are dealing with the cyber law, cyber offenses. One is primarily it is the Information Technology Act, Indian Penal Code. Then there is a new act which is called POCSO, Protection of Sexual Offences Act against Women. Then any individual who takes up copies, I think so normally the students they try to use this technology or get the data from the server of the college, either the question paper or some other relevant details for their own purposes, for passing an exam sort of thing. That also amounts to an offense. That is a punishable offense. And when that is used before corporate, then that is a penal offense also. So, in this one, the liability of individual is up to rupees 1 crore. A person can be charged with the penalty of rupees 1 crore. And every individual, it is a liability, it is a duty of every corporate to maintain the secret data. And if a corporate fails to do so, then the liability is up to 5 crores of rupees that corporate will liable to pay. The corporate would pay to that very person who has suffered those very losses. And it is under disclosure of breach of contract under section 72A. Is punishable up to 3 years of imprisonment. All those persons who are relevant, the director, managing director, or chief operating officer, etc., all those dignitaries who are present before that very organization and holding that respective job, they are liable to be prosecuted up to 3 years of imprisonment and a fine up to 5 lakhs of rupees. And this fine is beyond or apart from the penalty which has been imposed by the adjudicating officer. The punishment for doing any such sort of thing is up to 3 years imprisonment and 5 lakhs of rupees. All those, I'm just rushing it, damaging your data losses, identity fraud, theft, trojan, etc. All those things which have been discussed in detail. Now, this is one of the other important areas that when a cyber technology is used for defaming any other person. I got a case where a person had he was a businessman and his rival company person, they started maligning the image of that very person by using and before all the social networking sites and all those places that they were maligning the image and reputation of that very company as well as that very person. So the High Court of Delhi has directly ordered an FIR and registration of case and investigation, and that case is still pending investigation before the police. Then there are special category of offences which are there. This is under POSCO Act and this is under IPC. These offences are under IPC: stalking, child pornography, bullying, harassment, etc. And the punishment prescribed is 3 years. Under POSCO Act, the punishment is 3 years for bullying, for intruding any privacy. Again, the punishment is 3 years, along with fine. Any person who tries to take the photograph or upload that very photograph in any social networking site or even at WhatsApp. You might have heard of the recent case where a woman was stripped naked and she was later killed. And thus, photographs of that very lady was there on WhatsApp and all Facebook sites. That is all punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years. And when that it is again, if that offense is there against a woman, against a child below 18 years of age, then the punishment is up to 7 years. And for voyeurism, any pornographic content which is shown before or uploaded or any way transferred, or if peer-to-peer transfer also, if you say suppose you transfer it to your friend, then also that is punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years. When you transfer any sexually explicit content, the first thing was a pornographic content which does not disclose any sexually implicit content. This is a sexually implicit content. When it is transmitted over or exchanged or peer-to-peer transfer through Bluetooth or any other website, then that is also punishable with 5 years of imprisonment for very first offense. And if it is repeated, then that is up to 10 years. Child pornography again is 5 years and 7 years. Extortion up to 7 years. These are again offenses against the corporate. It is against the company. Then their punishment is up to 3 years. Forgery again up to 7 years. Then there is a copyright violation. How many of you might be using a licensed copy of any Windows or all those things? What you are having? If anybody is not using a licensed copy, then there is a punishment prescribed for. Then, since you are a PGDM student, so this is an important thing for you that there is a domain name which are the registered trademark of individual company, and the company trade in that very trade name before e-commerce website. Say suppose when I say that Amazon.com, then we all know that Amazon.com is one of the sites. A case was there with CP versus Satyam Infoway. In that one, Satyam Infoway, a person called CP, website with a CP was registered, so that the Satyam Infoway was getting lost. The court has restrained the CP to use CP as their website name, and that comes under squatting. And the punishment for squatting is 3 years. Then there is a crime against nation. There is a chapter, specially chapter described under Information Technology Act, Amended Act, and where the punishment could go up to life imprisonment, along with fine, with and without fine. Any person who associates or aids or abets the commission of cyber terrorism, then that is also liable to punishment up to life. And be careful that your IP address or your mobile is not used for any criminal activities. Then there is a Kaspersky report about all these criminal threats. How many are the threats? Out of those threats, 55% are economic uncertainty, and these are all cyber threats are 50%. The reputation is there, defamation, etc. Then the cyber criminal activities and we lack all those security measures despite knowing that there are discrepancies in our law or our understanding. Still we are lacking. We are not even prepared to listen to what the authorities or bodies are saying. I'm just finishing off my slide. I will just jump on to. Before finishing, I would like to discuss one case. Only one case I will be discussing. There was a person. There is a site called Bazi.com. Anybody knows about that Bazi.com? eBay.in, which is now called as eBay.in. The CEO of eBay.in, Mr. Amit Bajaj, was behind the bars, though for a very short period. But he was behind the bars. He was arrested, virtually arrested, and the case is still pending against him. Why? For no fault of his. He just provided a website, eBay.in, where those persons, two students, college students or IIT students, have uploaded a pornographic content over Bazi.com for the price of ₹180 each, and around 150 within a span of around 3 hours. Till that content was removed, around 3,000 rupees was earned by those two persons. But the person, the CEO of Bazi.com, he was arrested for that. And the Supreme Court, Apex Court has clearly stated that until unless you have to contest the case and appear before the court of law. Even though you may not be actively involved, but being a CEO of that very company, you are liable. There is a tortious liability is there, and the liability of that very person or the corporate is still there, and they cannot retort from that very liability. There was an emphasis case there. The data of credit card data. There is a emphasis is a BPO company at Pune, registered at Pune, where the data was taken out by those 3-4 persons of that very company, and that was compromised. These are legal rights, and these are do's and don'ts that every individual should listen to. That's all I would like to say. I would like to conclude. Again, I would like to thank everybody, every individual audience for attending and listening to my talk, and Mr. Gizer, and Mr. Kamal Mundra, and Registrar and Deputy Registrar. Yeah, any question?
There was a slide about threat intelligence in corporate, and I want to know about the defamation.
A person, say suppose any person who defames any other person, then the person is liable to be punished with imprisonment. Defamation is ruining the image or reputation of individual, maligning the image or reputation of. Say suppose you X person, he writes on a Facebook, X lady, putting a picture of that very lady on a Facebook page and saying that she is a whore. Then that means that X person has committed a defamation against that very lady by showing his picture, and that is attributed to individual. Then that person is liable to be punished. Any other question?
Yeah. So in the wake of what has happened yesterday or perhaps day before, there's some Pakistani hackers, they hacked the Indian, I think Sonu Nigam's website, and eventually the Indian hackers, they hacked People's Party of Pakistan, their site. So does this come under the jurisdiction of, does this happen cross-country as well? Or is there any punishment as such for this particular incident?
Definitely yes. IT Act of India, there are two provisions which gives this law an unlimited boundary. Section 2 and Section 75 of the ITF that provides that any person, whosoever, irrespective of his nationality or the boundaries, physical boundaries, if he commits an offense, then that person is liable to. If he commits an offense against the servers which are based in India or any person who is based in India and server based in US, then that person is also liable. Irrespective of any nationality, then that person becomes liable. Now the question is how to effectively have adjudication on those things. There are country to country, there are treaties are there, and in the recent summit also, Mr. Modi has went over there, and there were talks about that specifically on those cybercrime issues across the border. So that is also under process. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. Now, on the behalf of NDIM fraternity, I would like to thank Dr. Anup Chaudhary for sharing opportunities in the cyber security and definitely not to forget how to fool Google. I am sure you will think twice before using social networking sites. Now, I would like to thank Mr. Kisle Chaudhary for making us aware